Your beliefs and assumptions have a lot of power over how you are perceived and how people view you and how you show up in your desired image. Our beliefs really comes from our childhood and what was shown to us, what was done to us, and what we can actually see. We based our beliefs off of what we're capable of doing and what we saw other people around us um, doing and how far they were able to go. Our beliefs also intertwine with how other people feel about us, how the world is, and how either how difficult the world is or how easy the world is, if you get what I'm saying. So we all have a set of beliefs that put us at a certain limit that we can get to. If you have a limit of I can only get here, I can only reach this point, you will only reach that point. If you have a belief that I cannot succeed at this goal, I cannot succeed at this thing, because believe it or not, have beliefs we have beliefs about certain goals that we can achieve, and then there's other goals that we feel like we cannot achieve. So it's not saying you cannot achieve anything. It's not saying that you feel like you're just not good enough. It's not saying that you're not, winning at life. You may be winning. You may be doing great. We have certain beliefs and limits of how far we can go. We have certain beliefs and limits of how far we can actually see and perceive our future. And that shapes an image to other people about who you are and where you can go and how important you are on their radar. Have you ever saw someone who really believed in themselves, who really accomplished a lot of things and who had big goals for themselves and went towards it? You look at that person with a little bit more respect because they believe in themselves. But if you are around someone who has goals, but not really too big, they don't really think they can do it. It shows they may not have a lot of self-esteem about themselves, or they may not just, like you said, they may not believe in themselves. And it could be from programming or from something they told themselves or something they have heard. Another part of this is our assumptions. Our assumptions are basically, it's kind of like a belief, but it's kind of what we assume. It's kind of like what we assume will happen. We can believe we can do great things, but we assume that these great things require a lot of hard work. These great things um, won't happen to me, or my gender or ethnicity is going to play a part of why I cannot reach these certain goals. I hope I'm making sense. Your assumptions are what you are assuming will happen. You can believe things, but you also can assume that because of this, and that, it may be harder. Or you can assume it can be easier. So our assumptions are also playing a big part in our image. Our assumptions are playing a big part. It's something that cannot be seen, but it's something that can be felt and sensed. It's like an aura around you. You assume that people may not like you, so you go in the room with already your guard up, or you assume everyone loves you, or everyone wants to speak with you, or whoever speaks with you, y'all have great conversation, and you come into the room with more openness and with more optimism. Even if it doesn't happen, you keep that same optimism, right? So our assumptions really comes from our experiences in life. We just assumed, hey, this is just how my life is. If this keeps happening in my life, this is exactly what it is. And it creates also a belief of who you are. So if you always just never was able to succeed or win at a competition or anything, and like over time you start to believe that you're just not good enough. You're just not qualified enough, right? And that is how slippery this thing can be, because just because you don't win certain competitions don't mean you're not capable enough. You may be in the wrong sector. You may be in a, you may need to work on yourself a little bit more. You may need to practice more, blah, blah, blah. So our beliefs and our assumptions are a big, big deal to our image. And if you can start changing your assumptions and start changing how you are assuming things will be, because sometimes we assume things that we have not even seen. And then when it happens, we're like, oh, see, told you, right? So just start to realize what you're believing about yourself, others, things, places, and whatever, and what you're assuming about people, places, and things, and also your life, and also how life is reacting to you. And all that will be a big shift and indicator um, in your journey to becoming a better you and creating a better image for yourself.